current news podcast.
With Elu and Jesse.
Yes. Sometimes you wake up, scroll through the news, and just think, oof, that's a lot.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And today is definitely one of those days, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about former President Trump and, well, assassination threats.
Right.
So it's September 24th, 2024, and we're diving into this New York Times piece. They're saying Trump was recently briefed on threats from Iran. And, this isn't the first security issue around the former president this year.
No, it's not.
Remember back in July, there was that shooting, and then there was that whole thing with the armed guy near his golf course.
Right, right.
So it really makes you wonder if these are, isolated incidents, or if there's a bigger picture here we're missing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely concerning. And to really grasp the potential seriousness of this, you got to look at it through the whole history of U.S.-Iran relations,
right,
which, let's be honest, has been complicated, to say the least.
Right, for decades now.
Yeah, decades of, animosity, proxy conflicts, where they're basically supporting opposite sides in other fights, sanctions, all of that. So yeah, a former U.S. president, it's definitely a cause for concern.
Absolutely. So are these types of threats against a former president, are they, normal, or is something different happening now?
That's the million-dollar question, right? I mean, the Trump campaign is saying these attacks have heightened, and yeah, okay, it's an election year, so you got to factor that in.
Sure, could be rhetoric.
Exactly, but it's hard to ignore, right? Especially with everything else that's happened.
And especially with the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, they're not saying much, as usual. They confirm the briefing happened, but
yeah,
that's it.
Right, playing it close to the chest.
Yeah, which, it leaves us all wondering, how are we supposed to know? How worried to be?
Yeah, no, it's the classic dilemma with intelligence, right? You want to keep the public informed, but then on the other hand, you don't want to compromise anything sensitive.
Right.
And you definitely don't want to create unnecessary panic or, even accidentally help the bad guys, however unintentional it might be. It's a tough line to walk.
So let's bring it back down to earth for a sec. If I'm just trying to keep up with the news, why should I care about these potential threats against Trump?
Right. So first off, these threats, even if they turn out to be nothing, which we obviously hope they still create this uncertainty, this volatility around the 2024 election.
Right.
And elections are already tense enough, right? So that's something to keep in mind.
For sure.
The second thing is this whole situation, it could really make things worse between the U.S. and Iran.
Yeah, escalate things.
Exactly. And we've seen what happens when things escalate with Iran, and it's rarely pretty, right? It can have really far-reaching consequences.
Definitely.
And the last thing, and I think this is a big one, is that it raises these huge questions about how we protect not just a sitting president, but a former president, too.
Right, because that security doesn't just disappear.
Exactly. So is this our new normal? That's something to consider.
That's a lot to think about, for sure.
Yeah. It really makes you wonder if this is a sign of things to come. Are we heading into a time where high-profile figures need this level of protection even after they're out of office? It's a question worth pondering.
It really is.
Turn the dial to the daily news. Turn the dial to the daily news. Turn the dial to the daily news. Bringing voices, headlines, and shoes. We turn the dial to the daily news.